Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. We'll start with the sheriff for roll call.
Tom Johnson, third present.
Marissa Treat.
Carrie Bloomer.
Brian Mon.
Butch Freeman.
Colton Murphy for Miles Davidson.
Larry Stein.
Notice the meeting was properly posted on May 21st. And Colton, would you like to lead us in the pledge of
Guess I
allegiance?
can.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great job. All right, is there a motion to approve the minutes of May 16?
Motion. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Did you press your button?
Okay.
You know what, on my last budget board, I'm not punching a damn button.
Mm-hmm.
On item 2, we have no changes to the watch list.
Is there even a need to receive that report?
I'll move to receive.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 3 is to appoint Joe Blau to the Handbook Committee, replacing Karen Kent as the alternate, and appointing Karen Kent as the first alternate and Cody Compton as the second alternate.
I'm glad to see Joe being punished.
I'll move approval.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Madam Clerk?
This is our finance team, so Albert or Jennifer.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is our statement of revenues that we put out here for the fiscal year 24-25. That's highlighted in yellow. If you go all the way down to the bottom, you can see the fund balance and then the total sources available. The total sources available is the 125,501,474.
I would like to point out on that fund balance, we're the ones that determine that. We're the ones, and we determine it by not spending just because you got the money. So remember the seed corn. God bless him. Joe Barnes just rolled over in his grave. He's proud of me. But in all seriousness, that fund balance really helps build the budget, and we'll know the exact number in the September update.
Yes, sir.
But that fund balance is what makes us or breaks us.
Is there a motion?
I move we accept it.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Cody?
All right, good morning.
Morning.
All right, so as the Colonel mentioned, these numbers will be updated in September. The assessor's office usually takes a fairly conservative approach when they're estimating the ad valorem portion of the revenue. And so usually we have a,
I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
yes,
I'm really sorry. I think Cassie was needing to do something on the item 4. I'm so sorry,
Okay.
Cody.
He didn't actually
And we have given Cassie now a microphone so that we can all hear her instead of just me. But I apologize. So Cassie, what can we do?
Yes, so I missed the motion in the second on that one. The buttons weren't pushed. So who motioned on that?
Did I motion?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
Who was the second?
Brian.
Brian.
Mon, you seconded, and then I just need a vote for that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
okay. So what the approach that BET's taken the last couple years has been to start the fiscal year with a fairly flat budget and make necessary adjustments at the September supplement. We will look at things that are absolutely 100% needed to begin the year. If there's contracts associated with it and you have to encumber that, is there an amount needed to increase? We did not really encounter that this year. So based on that revenue number for this fiscal year to start out, the 125, that was the number that we utilized to budget. And we are a zero budget basis. We budget down to the penny, as Larry always reminds us. So what we did was we started at the 125. We looked at a flat budget for all general fund departments and those entities that we fund via the general fund. And there were a few of those that actually requested decreases this year. So if you look at your attached document, it notates a flat budget for all general fund budgets that requested the same or higher budget for this fiscal year than what they received this year. And then those entities that requested lower budgets, our recommendation is to grant them that request for a lower budget. So after looking at all that, we had $1,453,540 remaining, and that is what we are recommending to start the fiscal year off with in our reserve account. We can revisit these numbers. We will revisit these numbers in September, make some adjustments as needed, and kind of just go from there. One of the pieces that I do want to mention as part of our recommendation, you guys are all aware we've had some issues with our employee benefits account the last couple years. We had to pass the hat last year. Looks like we're going to need to do something similar this year. One thing that we started looking at was the employer premiums that are budgeted versus the employer premiums that are actually moved over into employee benefits. Those are not the same number, thus causing us a little bit of a shortage because we had budgeted for those numbers and they didn't actually come in. So part of this flat budget recommendation this year is we kind of change that up a little bit. In essence, for practical purposes, what would happen is on July 1, those accounts that are general fund or funded through general fund. So it would be all of our general fund accounts, and it would also be the Criminal Justice Authority. I spoke with Chris Sherman yesterday and let him know, and he said that this makes total sense to him. It would basically be an expense up front at the beginning of the year for the amount that you included in your estimate of needs for employer premiums. So thus, I'll just use District 1 as an example. Just to make the numbers easy, say we had $10,000 in our budget for employee benefits and $8,000 of that was for employee premiums and $2,000 was for other. On July 1, when our budget comes through, we're going to be expensed for the $8,000 in employee benefits, and then we still have our $2,000 in there for the rest of the year to take care of the other things in there, the FICA, the retirement, and everything. That way we know starting out the year that employee benefits is going to receive all of the funds that Budget Board thinks that they are budgeting into employee benefits for the year.
Questions? Is there a motion?
I'll move.
Second.
Oh, whoops.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thanks again for all the hard work, you and all the BET.
Are you addressing the estimate of needs on behalf of BET?
Yeah, I can. This is just a receiving of the estimate of needs that were presented. This is both general fund and special revenue funds. I will mention just real quick on special revenue funds, those cash accounts, the employer premium will still be the same way that it always has been. We have to leave those cash accounts the same way. But this is just receiving the estimate of needs that were submitted to BET.
Questions? Is there a motion?
Move to receive.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then presenting the budget.
This is the agenda item where you set the budget to begin the fiscal year 24-25, which would go into effect July 1. BET's recommendation, once again, is that we start out with a flat budget. It is, all of those numbers are notated in the attachment to item number 5. The total adjusted BET flat recommendation column is our recommendation. If we fund at those levels, that would start the year out in reserve at 1.453540 million. And like I said, that would be a flat budget with reductions for those budgets that requested a lower amount than what they had this current fiscal year.
I recommend approval of the proposed budget for FY 2024.
Second.
Any other discussion?
And once again, that is including the employer premium change that that is part of our recommendation.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you again, Cody.
Madam Clerk?
I move to strike item 8, please.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 9, District 1.
Cody, refresh my memory. This is transferring from highway cash. Oh, this is for you and Tex to attend training.
Yes, for
Finish my sentence.
our Esri GIS,
Esri.
District 3 has kind of led the way, and we're wanting to start looking at some. They're leading the way in the districts. The assessor has led the way from the beginning on this. But in talking to both our GIS department as well as Mr. Stein and Mr. Morrison, we thought it would be beneficial for us to go out there and talk to some of the folks and figure out what we can do at District 1 to be able to be more efficient with our dollars, as well as be efficient with our information that we're able to get out to the constituents. We usually don't keep a whole lot of money in our travel account, in our highway cash. And so this is just a transfer within our highway cash account from capital into travel.
Let me get this straight. We're going to try to spend money to make Cody smarter?
Mhm.
It won't work.
And Tex.
We've tried everything, Colonel. I mean, something's got to, click sometime, right?
I move approval.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any citizens to speak? Seeing none, board comments. Sheriff?
No comment. No comment.
I have a couple. First, I want to say thank you to Commissioner Bloomberg's office and her team and the owner's rep related to the first floor Weston space. It's been a really great partnership, and I feel like we've been able to make a ton of progress. So thank you. Joe and Cody have spent a lot of time that I'm sure they never wanted to spend with me, but I really appreciate the time and the partnership and the collaboration. And I think we're going to be able to get everything done and moved quickly. We have people running all over to see what we can move. I myself went downstairs and moved boxes. So we're all in to be able to partner with everybody. So thank you again. I also want to clarify, I think there's been a little bit of confusion related to facilities access. They always have access. It's a public building. I believe there's been some comments made when they enter into the third floor office space that they're not allowed. You're always welcome. Please come anytime. I just want structure and process, but we all have a job to do. So I just want to make sure that everyone's clear on that. And most importantly, I want to just say thank you again to BET, every single member there, every office. Our team, Jennifer and Albert, have done such an amazing job. Everybody knows the hurdles and the challenges that they have had, but they have been working constantly to try to accomplish the task, but also figure out how we got here and how we can improve. I sent several people to Tyler Technologies this last week, and that's really so much more than a conference. It's a true training, and they were all in there. We had a lot of conversations on who's going to what class. Everybody was asked to come back with solutions and really how we're going to better utilize the Tyler Munis system to its full ability. So I expect that in this next year, We'll all probably have to learn a little bit more about the system, but I think it can be really incredible for Oklahomans to make sure that we're utilizing the programs that their tax dollars are paying for. And last but not least, happy birthday to Rick Warren yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Again, just to kind of echo on the BET, obviously my appointee to the BET is Christy Miller, and she has been now for several years. There is no one in the state of Oklahoma who first understands budget and B, knows how to work budgets better than Christy Miller. So I appreciate each and every member of the BET. And no, I don't care what you offer to pay her, she's not leaving. But congratulations. I always love this meeting. It's always good to have a budget.
No comment. Happy birthday, Rick. Again, have a great weekend and happy Memorial Day to everybody.
Commissioner,
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce Brooke. She is a new member as of this week to our finance team. So
I do have one more question. Did you ever get that bush buried yesterday on your birthday? After we adjourn, you ought to make him tell the whole room that story. He buried himself below the bush.
Happy birthday, happy Memorial Day, and thanks to all the veterans who sacrificed to give us our freedom. We'll have our cookout at the barn at District 2. Everybody's invited 6 to 8. It's under the pavilion in case it rains, which it looks like there's a chance it might. Thanks to the BET. And if there are no other comments, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.